Episode number 229. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have Moon Knight by Marvel, and we have the JSA by DC. We got one of each. Let's talk about them right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about some comics today and see if any of them are any good for the future of the screen, or even worth reading at this point. Also, remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. Give me that like, and if you can subscribe, you will get notified about when I drop videos every day, which I do. I do drop one every day in one case or another. Plus, share this out there so people can see what comics are out there and if they're any good. And on top of that, I am a writer, so if you'd like to read anything that I have written, you can go to Amazon.com and just type my name in, and you'll see all my stuff, including my sci-fi quadrilogy, Destiny Aurora, which was also made into a board game, an RPG, and a graphic novel. It's also on Audible, which I also suggest listening to. We have a male and female voice in there, so it almost sounds like a little bit like a radio play. I've gotten some good feedback on that one. I also have my fantasy book, Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch. I am working on a new book right now called Battle for the Ruby Slippers. There's also a horror book up there if you like horror. It's like a ghost story like Sixth Sense called The Awakening. And on top of that, I have, if you like true stories, I have a Holocaust biography called Escape from Berlin, which I've gotten a lot of accolades for. But my new comic that I'm going to be releasing on Kickstarter shortly, I am going to be working on a movie through April, so I won't be able to release it until after I get done with that. I guess I've got to build a page out, which I started on, but it's at the beginning stages. Anyway, that one's called Fairy Tales of Terror. All right, so let's jump into Moon Knight. So this is by Jed MacKay. This is really the only thing by Jed MacKay that I'm still collecting. He's also writing X-Men and Avengers. I've dropped them both. He does not know how to write a team book, but a single character book with supporting characters, that he knows how to write. He needs to get pulled off these team books, man, because he's just not good. But yeah, so the artwork is okay on here. It's not as good as Capicchio, I think that's how you say it, used to do with it, but he's been gone since like issue 2, and this is the Fist of Konshu one. We're on 7 now, so this other Carbone, he's been doing the artwork since. And I'm going to move this over here a bit. So we start out, and this is how he writes, okay? So he has an A story and a B story, but it's not really an A story or a B story. It's like character development, basically. So he has the A story and a character development, which in this case is purely flashbacks. So he's doing the main story and then the flashback leading to that. And then he's doing the A story, and he does it page by page by page. And that's the normal thing. I prefer that than what he's been doing in the past with the psychiatrist office. I was so over the psychiatrist office, breaking up the A story. At least here it works. So we start out with the Wasp. Now this is the daughter of Hank Pym. This version of the Wasp. Her name is Nadia. So it's not Janet Van Dyne. This is Nadia Van Dyne, and she's a scientist. Apparently, that kind of goes with the Pym name. Or legacy, I should say. But Hank Pym is also the father to Tigra's son, which he's pretty old. I don't know. I guess she's going for the old guys, I guess. But meanwhile, she has a relationship with Mark Spector, which is Moon Knight as well. So I miss seeing the son, though, but apparently she gets around, though. But anyway, we have the pool party. So this is one of Moon Knight's supporting characters is 8 Ball. He was a villain who has now turned the tides and is now part of Moon Knight's little army. And so this is the pool party, and you see that Deadpool actually has the eyes out. So I was like, that's weird. And then you have Chalk. So you have Deadpool, you have 8-Ball, you have Chalk, and you have Pocket. You get it? Okay. Moving on. So then we have the flashback of them talking and trying to figure out this plan because they want to get a hold of Hank Pym. So 8-Ball's like, well, whenever we wanted to get an attention of a superhero, we just do something bad to somebody that they like or they love, one of their family members, and then they come running. Because they need Hank Pym because we have an Asgardian drug dealer. That takes a lot of imagination right there. I got to hand it to Jim McKay there. An Asgardian drug dealer that has been screwing with them. And he tried to mano-a-mano him, and he got his ass kicked. But he didn't know he was an Asgardian at the time. So he got his ass kicked. He picks himself back up, and now he wants to Hank Pym to figure out, I guess, an antidote or something to that effect of the drug itself. But he doesn't know how to get a hold of him. So, so Nadia hits him in the head. So the whole plan is to get his attention. That's it. And 8-Ball keeps saying, "We want the science. We want the science." She's like, "Gotta be a little bit more specific. What science you looking for?" And then we find out, I don't know if it's true or not, that he's a jet propulsion engineer. I don't know. But then Tigra comes up. This is them making the plan. So they make the plan, and then they're enacting the plan page by page by page, and so it keeps going back and forth. And the other two people are the vampires, and that's why Deadpool has the eyes out of the thing, is just because it's just a costume. So yeah. I thought that was a bag of something, but it looks like a AIM costume now that I'm looking at it. But anyway, it just goes back and forth and back and forth. But that's the general plot, and again, the artwork's not bad. It's just not great. It's a little bit. There's not a whole lot of detail to it. And of course, Hank Pym shows up. You see, he's kind of old for Tigra. But anyway, all the ants come, and they're like, "Finally, you showed up." So we didn't have to get our asses kicked anymore. He's like, "Oh, you put my daughter in danger?" It's like, no, nobody was in danger. He's like, "You did all this because, I wouldn't call you back." And they're like, "Pretty much." And he's like, "I need a favor." And he's like, "I'm not doing a favor for you." He's like, and then Tigra shows up. You see her tail. Says, "He's not asking. I am." And we get this nice splash page of Tigra there. And I like the costume there. He apologizes for basically being a deadbeat dad. So it's that. But he finally agrees to help them. But there is a little bit of a spat going on. And then they eventually hug. Of course there's a spat because he's been like a complete dick. And that's the end of it until next time. But I think that's a really good idea. I would love to see that in a movie. Because you have the comedy, because you know that they're just trying to get the thing's attention. Meanwhile, Wasp is kicking everybody's ass, and they're kind of letting it happen. Meanwhile, you got 8-Ball going, "I want the science." So it had a little bit of comedy in there. As well as action. So I really like this issue. I thought it was definitely thinking out of the box, and it only really works for Moon Knight because of the fact that he does things that no other hero really does, because he kind of skirts that edge sometimes. All right, let's jump into JSA here real quick. This is by Jeff Lemire. The problem with this book is that there's too many characters. Jeff Lemire didn't know if he was going to use the old JSA or the new JSA, so instead he decided to use them both. And it got very confusing. So the old guys are in this hell world, this like purgatory world where there's demons and stuff like that. And the new group is trying to find them. Meanwhile, Obsidian, which is Jade's brother, I believe, he's been kind of taken over. He's got a shapeshifter that's posing as him right now. But the team doesn't know it, which I'm surprised that nobody's figured it out yet. But anyway, Hawkman, the old Green Lantern, Alan Scott Green Lantern, the old Flash, they're all Hawkman, Hawkgirl. Yeah, so they're all in this other world. And Ted, I wanted to say Ted Grant, who is Wildcat. So you have a male Wildcat and you have a female Wildcat, and the female is the new one. And then you have the new Dr. Fate, who's a kid. And he wears like gold sneakers. I don't really like it at all. I miss the old one. But anyway, he's in there. We don't get to see any of Obsidian or the other guy with the genie at all in this issue. Because they were trying to escape. They ended up in this, I guess they're in his head or whatever else in the last issue. But anyway, he's trying to keep the shield up around the tower. I don't know why, but they are. And you see the old Flash there, Jay Garrick, and there's Ted giving him the pep talk saying, "You can do it, man, you can do it." Okay. So he puts the helmet back on and he says, "I'm going to do it. Good thinking." I don't know what's going on with Titans right now with the Deathstroke thing. That book has been okay. It's like skirting that line of okay. But he's like, I didn't make those portals, and nope, all the Injustice villains come through. You got Sandman, you got a Red Lantern there, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the female Dr. Midnight is missing. She was kidnapped in the last issue, and there's that female Wildcat, and she's threatening this guy who's one of, little Bob guys who is like a mob henchman or a villain henchman. And here comes Jade. I really like Jade. We don't get to see her enough. And I guess she's having a relationship with that other Sandman guy who's in the purple. And there's Obsidian in blue right there, and he is the one that's really a villain. But anyway, he's the Sandman guy's, oh, you have to see this. And they think that Dr. Midnight is dead because it's just blood everywhere. So Yolanda, who is the new Wildcat, goes a little crazy and slashes the guy's throat and kills him. These guys don't kill. So, and I was very happy to see that they said, you're going to have to feel the repercussions of this. So we'll see what happens, if she's going to go to jail or, what's going on, because that was murder. The guy didn't have a weapon or anything. You can't call self-defense with something like that. So meanwhile, you have this battle that's going on in that other purgatory thing between them and the Injustice Society. And here's all the demons coming out to play. There's the Alan Scott Green Lantern. And there's the Red Lantern up there. So this is where the action basically is. And I think the tower goes down. But there's Dr. Fate, and then Ted gets sorted in the back. Always fun. And then the bad guys get the helmet, which is one of the things that they were after. So it did not go well for the old Justice Society. And this is where she says that you got to feel the repercussions of this and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So then you have this little side story with Jesse Quick and Hourman. I guess they have a relationship too. And Obsidian starts laughing, and Jade's like, what are you laughing about? But their conversation's cut short by the entrance of the old Justice Society holding the body of Ted Grant. So there's that. And that's how that ends. So we're on issue 6 already. At least they're out of, I don't know how they got out of the whole thing. It doesn't really say. They just poofed out of it now. But at least now we're out of that thing. Because I'm of the opinion that a comic story should not the arc should not go beyond 6. And if you really need an extra issue to go to 7, well then great. But after 6, it just feels like it gets drawn out, and it should just be another story. Like the DC versus vampires thing, they're going to pull that into 12 issues. I'm dropping it because I'm just over it. The last Namor thing that Jason Aaron did went all the way to 8 issues, and that felt, drawn out. Just limit it to 6, man. Because you can make a novel, you can adapt a novel, a full-length 400-page novel, into 6 issues. So there's no reason for it to be longer. Would this make a good movie? I missed the Stargirl series. This would probably be good as television. But again, it's feeling drawn out. So hopefully they end the storyline. And there's way too many characters. Way too many characters. And Moon Knight, I would say yes. I love this whole storyline with the Asgardian thing. And them getting driven underground and all that stuff. I think there's a lot of really good stuff in here. If you're not getting Moon Knight, then you should. There's a lot of stuff that's collected into graphic novels right now that you can pick up. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Remember, give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can, and share this video out there. And if you'd like to get notified about when I drop new videos daily, just click that bell, ding, ding. And remember, too, if you'd like to check out anything that I've written, just go to Amazon.com and just type my name in. All right? I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. All right, bye-bye.